What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend and is ready to conquer the week that is. And man, fall is about to kick in. Football is in full swing. The Major League Baseball playoffs are about to begin, and there was a lot of wrestling this past weekend. And I'm going to cover two of the what I feel are the most important events of the weekend, and that starts with WWE NXT No Mercy, man. So No Mercy went down on this past Saturday nights from in Bakersfield, California. Uh, yeah, and it was a great show, man. I really enjoyed NXT. Like I'm not keeping up with the TV product as much as I should be, and that's on me. But I definitely tune into the premium live events when they air because NXT, for one reason or another, you can feel you know what you want about the product, but there is no question that they do tend to put on good shows when it comes to premium live events or pay-per-views, as us old school people like to call them. So, all right. So on the pre-show, there was one match. You had a women's match on the pre-show. Blair Davenport getting the win over a Kaylani Jordan. Blair Davenport is on a mission to kind of like eradicate the NXT locker room of what she calls these pretty girl women, and Blair Davenport, B Priestley, as she was known on the Independents. She's very tough, very hard nosed, very in your face. Nothing fancy about her. She will tear you apart if she gets a chance. And young Kaylani Jordan found that out the hard way, and Blair Davenport picked up the win there. But as for No Mercy itself, the show opened with a very, very cool opening, harkening back to the Nintendo 64 days of the No Mercy video game. That really got me. It was a really nice touch, especially since I'm such a big fan of No Mercy. I've covered No Mercy in depth on my retro video game review series. Check that out if you haven't. But yeah, man. So they did the opening with that, and they ran down all the matches that were happening that night, and the night kicked off with Baron Corbin taking on Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, real cool, in your face guy. I love the new heel persona of Braun Breaker. Uh, you know, um, gives me real Rick Steiner vibes when he was a heel in WCW. His father. And Baron Corbin is kind of kind of in the middle of a career resurgence due to him. He was kind of floundering on the main roster a little bit. They tried putting him with JBL, and that didn't work out so much. But down they sending him back to NXT seems to really revitalize his character and giving him a fresh start, and I'm digging it. And these two went at it, and Baron Corbin ended up picking up the win with an end of days. Very physical matchup, as you might expect from these two. If you've ever watched these two wrestle, both very, very physical guys, and I liked it. It was a great opener. Uh, Next up, the NXT North American Championship was on the line when Dirty Dominic Mysterio defended the North American Championship against Trick Williams. Now, Trick Williams has all the tools to get it done as a solo superstar, and I'm glad that he's on this solo run. He really needed it. Carmelo Hayes was. He was a great hype man for Carmelo Hayes, but it's time for him to step out on his own, and he's been certainly doing that ever since breaking away from Carmelo Hayes a couple of months ago. Not that they're on bad terms or anything. It was just time for him to time for Trick Williams to get out on his own. and he certainly cemented the first step in becoming a great star when he took the North American Championship from Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, congratulations to him, man. Trick Williams certainly deserves it. He's got a hell of a future ahead of him, and I can't wait to see where he goes next with the North American Championship. Uh, in the third match of the night, it was a fatal four way for the NXT Tag Team Championship. You had out the mud. I don't know the names of the two guys that make up the team, but really big boys. For my first time seeing those guys in the ring, they were accompanied to the ring by Scripps and Reggie. For those of you who have been who kept up with him on the main roster, they seem to have like a really like West Coast rapper type gimmick. You know, real street, real grimy type gimmick, and kind of reminds me a little bit of Crime Time. But I know I'm gonna get a lot of crap for saying that, but yeah, that's kind of what it reminded me of, seeing these two young big boys in the ring. And then the other three teams, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, another team that has gone that is undergoing a fresh start because they're back in NXT now. They were kind of floundering on the main roster over on Raw and SmackDown. They really weren't doing anything. They've gotten more serious, and I'm excited for them. I've always been a fan of those two. Um, and then of course the Creed brothers, uh, Julius and Brutus. Man, always been a big fan of them. They remind me so much of Kurt Angle, and they have so much pure wrestling ability at such a young age, and I just love watching it because I'm a wrestling purist. I love the art of professional wrestling. So you shout out to Julius and Brutus Creed. And of course the tag team champions, Tony D'Angelo and Shannon Stacks Lorenzo, aka the Family. Uh, Hell of a four way match. Great spots. Each team, every one of those teams gave their all, but in the end, the Family ended up retaining the tag team championships, and their reign continues. Next up, you had the NXT Heritage Cup a match. So basically, the rules of the an NXT Heritage Cup match are, you know, five 3 minute round. No, what is it? What is it? Six 2 minute rounds and no. Five 3 minute rounds. There we go. Five 3 minute rounds, and then it's two out of three falls, and there's a 30-second rest interval in between falls. And the two that were fighting it out was Butch of the Brawling Brutes, aka Pete Dunne, and Noam Dar. Noam Dar is another guy that was floundering on the main roster when he was part of the cruiserweight division on 205 Live, and got sent back down to NXT. And now he's shining. Was out for an injury with a while as well, so it's good to see him back and doing big things with the Heritage Cup. And Butch, again, Pete Dunne, great in NXT, but when he kind of he's starting to find his way now on the main roster because he's with Sheamus and Ridge Holland, and they make up the Brawling Brutes, as I stated earlier. Um, but yeah, it's cool to see him on this little singles run in NXT, and he won this. This shot at the Heritage Cup by competing in the Global Heritage Invitational. He ended up winning that tournament and getting the shot at the cup, but couldn't get the job done against Noam Dar after a very, very good match. It was tied at a fall apiece going into the final round. Lots of interference from Metaphor, I believe their group is called, the group that Noam Dar is the leader of, and Butch had his own running mate from British Strong Style, Tyler Bate with him. And but lots of interference, and in the end, Noam Dar got the job done, and he retained the NXT Heritage Cup. Um, and then in the semi-main event, you had Carmelo Hayes defending his NXT Championship against Ilya Dragunov. Now, this is a rematch from the last NXT pay-per-view, the Great American Bash, which Carmelo Hayes ended up besting Ilya Dragunov. And Ilya Dragunov was looking to gain the NXT Championship. And he did after a very, very hard fought match. Lots of back and forth. I really enjoyed it. It was a really, really good match. And Ilya Dragunov is the new NXT champion. And congratulations to him, man. He definitely deserves it. You know, he took the NXT United Kingdom Championship from Gunther back when NXT UK existed, and now he's making his run with the NXT Championship. I can't wait to see where he goes with it. And in your main event, it was an Extreme Rules match for the NXT Women's Championship as Tiffany Stratton looked to get back the NXT Women's Championship from Becky Lynch. Story here, very simple. Becky Lynch never held the NXT Championship while she was in NXT. Found loads of success on the main roster. Pretty much did everything that you can do in the women's division on the main roster. Won every championship that was available, and now she's back in NXT to get the only title that's eluded her, and that was the NXT Women's Championship. She ended up capturing it from Tiffany Stratton a couple of weeks back, and now Tiffany is out to regain it, and very, very physical match. And in the end, despite her best efforts, Becky Lynch was able to defeat Tiffany Stratton to retain the NXT Championship. Like I said, overall, very, very good show. The next NXT pay-per-view is NXT Deadline, which is December 9th, Saturday, December 9th, coming from Bridgeport, Connecticut. So definitely I'm going to be watching that. Anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.